Good morning. Today I'm going to be back in my antique Trilby book, using it because of the loveliness of the papers. As you can see with the deckled edges, it was probably a privately published book. And I'm going to be using watercolors because, as you can see, we learned that watercolor does not blast through this paper, nor does it curl the paper. And you can read and see the text right through whatever you have done on here in the line of collaging, watercoloring, doodling, etc. So I've ripped out some pages. Get this heavy boy out of the way. Excuse me. Some of the pages that I cut have these lovely deckled sides to them, and I'm going to be sure that whenever I do my painting and cutting, I can, I'm going to save that if at all possible. Now I'm feeling a tickle in my throat, and it's just going to make me cough because it knows I have the camera on. I'm going to go and get some water, not watercolor water, but drinking water. I'll be right back. Okay, as you can see, I have my paper. I have my Mission Gold watercolor palette. That, as you can see, is it's rather strong color. But I thought it would be fun for this project. My Viva paper towel, water, my spray bottle. I sprayed the tops of the, I missed one. I sprayed the tops of my watercolors so that they would take up some of that water and get the idea that they're about to live again. And look at this delish palette color. So I'm going to be making very vague flower designs on this paper so that when they're dried they can be decorated or not, and cut out and used as ephemera in my journals. So let's pick one piece of paper that is not too deckled. Okay, let's have one right there. Put these back in waiting. Let's get out a brush. That's a size 10. That's awfully big. Let's see what we have. We must have an 8 here somewhere. Here it is. Here's my very fave. You out of the way. Brushes back out of the way a little bit so that I can spread out. Let's have a little bit of water on the brush. A rub off because we don't want the paint to be soaking. And I'm going to make some blue flowers. We have the colors listed: ultramarine, cobalt, cerulean, just because I love blue and I like blue flowers, and I just think I enjoy putting them as pretty ephemera embellishments in my journals. Let's start with cerulean. Why not? Why not? And holding the brush very lightly. No gripping on a watercolor brush if you're going to do this kind of there. Done. Let's do, shall we? Let's do one more. Maybe it'll be a little bit lighter. I'll add water. Let's do another one here. There. Then let's try cobalt. Let's try some cobalt. Oh my. This is what I call a serious blue. Okay. And let's have that one over here. There. That's more or less flower shaped. And let's have another one next to it. If you notice, I'm just putting the letter C down, going around the edges. They look kind of the same, but if you really study on them, you'll realize that they are not. And let's be daring and do some ultramarine. Let's just do it. Think about it too much. Okay, because ultramarine is strong. You notice I'm laying this brush primarily on its side, adding a little water here. Adding a little bit of water. We'll have one more. Light, whoop, that's a little too light. So, no bleed through, not very bad puckering, and we have 6 blue posies. One more. Okay, we did blue flowers. Shall we do some yellow flowers? Why don't we? Let's try lemon up here. Let's see. Oops, that's a strong lemon. Mission gold colors are certainly strong, but that's a good thing sometimes. And one more because we can. Let's go to permanent yellow light. Oh, wowzers, I love this one. Some more of that puppy. Now let's pull over a little bit of, let's pull over just a little bit of the palette colors that are there. I love to add those to anything. Shall we be daring and have permanent yellow deep? Doesn't look too much like what I would call yellow, but probably. I will add it to the palette color and the little bit of probably burnt sienna that's there just to calm it down just a smidge. Let's have just a little more strength there. Yes, do another one of those. Just wiggle. We're wiggling in concentric or overlapping C's. some yellow posies. This paper, I wish you could see, is there a way for me to let you see that it's almost a little bit transparent along here? The rag in the paper, when it was made on this piece of paper, is thinner and more transparent than this heavy paper on this side. Well, when things are handmade, that's what happens. Ah, I love it. Love it, love it. Let's have let's go to, I'm not going to do red. I'm not a great red, and this vermilion has too much yellow in it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's light on Permanent Rose. Let's just see what we get from Permanent Rose. If we just mix it over here, we'll have a little of that yellow palette color in it. That's fine. Ah. There we go. Let's have another one, which will be paler. I'm quite happy with that one. Let's go Rose Madder. That's a lovely color. Let's put that over here. That's got a little bit more yellow in it. Just a smidge more yellow. And another light Rose Madder. Let's call it light Rose Madder over here. They're ours and they're our posies, so I can call it anything I'd like. We have this Crimson Lake. I used to love that color. It's got leaning a little bit towards purple, with, of course, some of the Rose Madder in it. Palette color, love it. And let's just go with Bright Opera. Not only is it opera, but it's called Bright Opera. So this is no kidding around, serious pink. I'll make that one a little bit smaller. So now we have 3 in the 6 in the pink family. And this palette does not have very much in the purple family, so we're going to have to do a little mixing to get where we want to be here. Let's see what this violet, what they call violet is, and what I call violet might be 2 different colors. Oh, see, I've changed that into a too much of a blue color to suit me. But wait a minute, let's try it. Not terrible. Not terrible at all. Let's go over here again. Let's go over here. This is the one called Red Violet. Oh, pretty. Pretty. Now, something called Clear Violet, I have a feeling is this. I take just a little bit of this and mix it in, and then a little bit of Clear Violet. Wow, let's see what we have. Ah! Let's have a little bit more. Let's just be daring here. You see me do this now over and over again, and you realize it's just a matter of jiggling the brush, jiggling your hand, doing some tap, tap, tap dancing on it. Now, I'm thinking that there might come a time when I might want, I might want a little bit of orange. Let's put that here. We might want it on a Halloween journal. Let's see what we get. Not bad. Okay, let's go over the edge now. Let's really do a Halloween rose. Flowers do come in all shapes and sizes. So we have some purples and we have some Halloween. Now, what to do about leaves? Well, in my case, nothing much. What I'm going to do is paint a couple of papers with greens, so that when I decide I might want to add a protein drink, I might want to add a leaf to my Posie, and so I can just cut out a leaf shape, or do a little doodling and then cut out a leaf shape. So let's just go off the deep end together again. And let's go for our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just go here for some Hooker's Green. Like Hooker's Green. Yes, I do. Let's get lots of it in the brush and paint on some leaves. This is going to become a couple of leaves. Yes, it is. And next would be Sap Green, another color that I love bunches. Let's put some Sap Green next to it. A little more. And let's do the bottom in olive green. Let's do the bottom in olive. I think olive is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3, 4, 5, 6. Ah, it's this one. I would have had the wrong one. Love olive green. Let's put some here. This is quite wet because the brush is big, holds more water, so it did not go through, but you can see that the paper reacted more than it did with our flowers. Let me put this on this table. And do we have another sheet of paper? Yes, we do. We'll go back to get some yellowish green. And some of this, which is yellow-green, not a favorite of mine, but sometimes colors come in handy when you least expect it. This cotton rag paper is reacting to the wetness, which we did not get with our flowers, thank goodness. And a little more hookers just because I like it so much. You see the bits of rag? I'll hold it up to close to you so that you can see. What is in the paper because it's showing now. Do you see the little speckles of the cotton rag in the paper? We never would have seen that otherwise. We certainly don't. But wetting it down has shown what is in this antique paper. Real paper. And one more to lie down. And so now we're going to get to watch the grass grow. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 times 6 is 24 posies and 2 leaf papers, and all we have to do now is wait patiently, or impatiently in my case, for these to dry. I'll be back and we'll do a little bit of playing and see what we decide to do with this. In fact, we'll play with one and finish it up and then cut it out so we see what we have for our ephemera posies. Back later. Well, here we are back with dry papers, and as you can see, that old rag paper dries out a treat, and I thought we would, I thought we just might, let's look. I've got my watercolors still open to dry out, air dry totally, because otherwise they can get black mold very easily. Let's see what we have here. too similar. I think I'm going to do this one just as an idea, just to share an idea with you. So we have our posies, and I'm going to work on this one, and I'm going to use, I don't want the doodling to be in your face too much, so I'm going to use my Uniball Signo Ultra Micro 207, which means it's very, very fine, which is a good thing. Let's come close here. There we go. And let's see what we can do. I see 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-ish. Let's just pick these out, and remembering, just light touching, not outlining. Not outlining. That's one. Two. Let's come down here for number 3. 4. That's 4 and 5. Gives us the idea of 5 petals. And let's decide that this will make that the center of the flower. And let's just, don't want to overdo. Don't want to overdo, so how about we just do some lines here. And when we have things like that happen, all that we have to do is just go around the outside edge of those again, and that's mission accomplished. Shall we do this one also? Very lightly, with a very, very hair fine and maybe just one more. Let's do this one. But I'm feeling, let's get some, centers into this. There. Want to have a little bit more strength. Let's use the next one up, which would be a the second one up, which would be a 207, I'm going to do a little hills and valleys around the edge here. Just to give a little bit more oomph. Valley. Just a little bit there. See, this one doesn't have the print underneath it. It's on almost on clear paper, so we want to give it just a little something something going here. Oh, that's quite a valley. Yes, it is, and there's a little now. Let's see. This needs a little more darkness here and there in the center of the flower. That's better. Yeah, that's a little too naked. Let's do something with that one. Okay. And let's make a leaf. Just one leaf will do. I think we'll use this little heavier paper. I'm going to pick some of that. Maybe let's just sketch on. Let's just sketch on one, two, there's three, let's get the tip showing a little bit. There's a nice little hill. And do you want anything more? Maybe just a slightest touch of this very fine pen. Now, let's cut out our leaves. And I'm not going to cut them overly close. What was that? Something. Let's go back out a little bit. Well, that's determined not to come out. Okay. Now this flower and these leaves are on unprinted part of this paper, which works in this situation. But I wouldn't particularly like to have the leaves over the text. Not in this case. And let's get out this paper that we did in our trilby the last time we used watercolor, and just to give you an idea of a possibility. And here is a way that you might possibly choose to use these posies. I have so many more ideas, and as you can see, it is quite a simple job to do, and the potential for play is all there, which is just exactly what counts. I haven't made up my mind whether I'm going to add that to the page yet. Maybe I just might have a little bit of Fabri-Tac. There's one. Two. Three. And our Posie. There. There it is. All set. I do hope that you have enjoyed my playtime today, and if you have, I would appreciate you giving me a thumbs up, leave a comment. I certainly answer them, and I appreciate it tremendously if you would subscribe to my channel. Bye now.